animation live stream. Hopefully the first of many. Let me just get set up a bit here. This will be for a new Brickheads video I'm doing. Similar to the Miser Brothers video that I did back in December, I'll be doing the Stan Lee brickhead here that I custom made. I also should have another brickhead video coming out in October, November, and December, as well as other stop motion projects still happening. I've just been super busy with a lot of stop motion stuff, so I haven't been able to do more projects out fast enough, so I won't be able to get some other projects. There's still videos for you guys to watch and some fun builds. So for animation software, I use a program called Dragon Frame. Here's the controller the program comes with. It's a little bit overcomplicated for just the basic stop motion that we're doing here today, but it gets the job done for more complex products as well. So I'll be starting with just a blank shot of the stand. And then how I do these stop motion build videos, I've done a couple on the channel, is I grab a brick separator and actually take apart the figure from the bottom and place it back on, because I sometimes create custom instructions for my builds, but it's more effort than it's really worth to do it, so I just take it apart from the bottom and reconstruct it and take a picture of each step, so that way you can kind of see how it's built, and you too could build this build. So careful not to move the base plate during the project. It's another big thing too, because then it's all shaky when you watch the video. And then even, and you can kind of see over there in the background, I got my computer screen pulled up for the stop motion, so you can see that as I go. I want to be able to do more live streams similar to this, so you can see more of the animation process, because you often just see the finished products and you don't see the work that goes into them. I hope to do some stop motion live streams for maybe a bigger animated project. I have a couple theme songs in the work, some nice little funny sketch videos too. It's just sometimes hard to get all that done. As you see, I just kind of have the disassembled pieces in the side here. A lot of brickheads actually follow a very simplistic build pattern for most, and you can kind of copy the same characters over and over again without too much effort needed. But a lot of the big complicated part is developing the heads, which I will get more into when we get to animating the head. For now, it's just the basic body build, which is nothing too complicated. Especially, part of these pieces from the Go Brick Me set LEGO released a few years ago, which helps you get the basic parts for building brick heads, and does give you some springboard kind of ideas for how to make hairstyles and stuff, which is handy when you're trying to get the character to look just how you want them to look. Now, if you're paying attention to my screen over there in the background, point to the screen, you can kind of see a little shadowy layer, so you can see my hand kind of in there sometimes. That's called onion skinning, so I can see the previous frame and what the camera will capture, so I can make sure everything's lined up just right, so it's not too wobbly. I often don't follow it too strictly, so that's why you sometimes see some wobbly animation in my videos. Sometimes I purposely don't follow it, so it looks a bit more natural sometimes. So like, I kind of like the shaking kind of look to it, but I try to keep it as close as I can. This one will be a bit shakier than others because I usually have a base plate clamped to the table, but for the brickhead videos, I think it looks a bit cleaner to have a huge base plate on there. But I might for some future ones, just because it does get annoying to make sure everything is stable all the time. If you guys enjoy the custom brickhead videos, feel free to comment on this live stream or on other videos, brickheads you'd like me to make, because I often just do these in my spare time when I'm bored. So if there's anything you want to know how to make, I'll be more than happy to develop it for you. This video will be privated after the live stream is over, but I will make it public again once I finish editing this video. And maybe someday I might do an editing live stream. I'm not sure. And maybe sometime I might try to do one where it's just you just see the screen of my animation software, so you can see what I'm seeing when I animate instead of side view. But I kind of like the side view, so you can see more of the behind the scenes look too. I'll try a bit of both to see what goes by better. I'm also going to start doing some live streaming on Twitch soon for Minecraft. I have a second channel, Cart Short, which will post the highlights of live streams too, but the Twitch channel is also Cart Short. I'll mostly be streaming Minecraft, playing there. I want to do a bit of streaming, either some on YouTube for like live streams like this, and then Twitch for some Minecraft playing and stuff to see which service like live stream which one gets better audience and whatnot, and what you guys like more too. Now, this stickered piece here I'm using on the Stanley brickhead actually comes from the Go Brick Me set, which Lego sold, and I'm not fully sure if it's still in production or if you can still buy that set. I'll put more information about that in the actual video. For now, I'm just doing the building. I'll do more research when the video comes out. I bought a couple of them when they first came out because I knew I liked making the brick heads. Now for the hair for Stan Lee, I based part of it off of the Peter Venkman brick head because it had the right shape I needed, but I changed the bottom up a little bit to do the different color variants in there. And I felt did a pretty good job replicating Stan Lee. And for the glasses build, the Go Brick Me did come with actual like a glasses piece, but I wanted to get some gold frames. So I used two of the basketball hoop pieces like that, and I just attached the 2x1 here with a little bar there, so it looks like it's kind of connecting across there, which I thought was a pretty good job, emulating Stan Lee's appearance, and a little 2x1 cheese slope piece to be his mustache. Now the heads are always probably the hardest part of the animating process because they're just, well, the body's such simplistic detail, but the head itself has a lot more detail to go into it. Often we'll just take off each side of the face. Usually they come off relatively easy, but this one's in a couple pieces, so I lie it out here next to me just so I get a pretty good idea of where everything needs to go when I put them back together. Okay, it's looking good over there. This is where the process gets a bit slower than it was earlier, just because I gotta really make sure I do this right, because I don't have instructions for this, so, because I'm kind of making them right now in the video form. So if I mess up the placement, I won't be 100% sure how to put them back together. And I'm not sure quite what the video is going to entail. If you watch the Miser Brothers video, I actually purchased sheet music for the Miser Brothers song, and then had a little bit of an arrangement made up for it, special for the video, using some music software. I'm not sure for the Stan Lee video, I'm going to try to do maybe the Avengers theme. I thought maybe some dialogue of Stan Lee talking. You guys heard that click come from my camera. That was the live view turning off because I haven't touched it in a second and it's getting cranky at me. Okay, and this is always in the center of the brick head. It's a little brain brick, which I always find funny that they include. Okay, now take all that apart. just the last side of the face here I gotta lay out. So as you can see here, I have each side of the brickhead face laid down. So when I get it all put together, when I do the animating, then I can just pick them off from here and put the head back together. Okay, so now turn the camera back on as I went to sleep mode. First thing is going to be this plate. Okay, now it's time to part these building sideways pieces, which, if you ever build a brick head, you know are very important to making the actual figure itself. There, we'll keep the side of the face on the brick head. Okay, checking to make sure he's all lined up. Looks good. And now, gotta really carefully turn the brick head to see the new piece I placed on, and then using where that little pink brick is to see if it's in about the same position. So the turn looks smooth. Also in the Miser Brothers video, I had him dance around a little bit. I'm not sure I'm gonna have Stan Lee dance at all. Maybe I'll grab some other marble brick heads and maybe make him like pose with them or something. Not fully sure. This animation segment is just for the actual building of the figure. The rest of the video can come together later and be able to put it together and realize, I don't need to be that much longer. Turn. Look at my screen to make sure he's all lined up. Okay, now that I put a brick there, it's a bit harder to see exactly where my pink brick is over there. But I can tell that the studs for the building sideways pieces look like they're about the same spot, so I know it's lined up. Another turn. Bumped it slightly. The great thing about having an animation software is the onion skinning feature, because you can really do stop motion without a software. You can just take all the pictures you want and then put it together. But with a software, it can help you guide you along your way. Just add some nice little measures so that you don't make mistakes. A lot of older stop motion wasn't as lucky as we are to have softwares like this, even apps on your phone that can do something like this. And if they mess something up, they have to start entire scenes over, and they wouldn't know until it was all finished. So now I think I'm going to put the hair on. I think it'll be best from a side view. I'm going to be a little bit on skipping some steps here, but I can always just link this live stream to it if people aren't fully clear what's going on in the stop motion. But I try to make it as obvious as I can. Okay, now we're going to turn the brick head, a process we've seen. But, ooh, wow, really moved him that time. Just gotta line up those studs again. Now we're going to build his face. A lot more dismantling has to be done. And I'm probably going to start the video with the Marvel logo I did, like, for the Marvel Bunch video. If you've watched that video yet on the channel, if you haven't, go check that out. That was a fun animation project. I love recreating stop motion stuff, which I hopefully will be getting more out soon. Everything goes according to plan. But I'm not sure yet if I want to keep the Stan Lee minifigure saying Excelsior at the beginning of it, or swap out to put my brick head in there instead of the minifigure. Actually, no, I'm gonna go from the bottom up again. Yeah, I'll go from the bottom and put some mustache on now. And when I do create instructions for brickheads, I often use Lego Digital Designer softwares. I used to use Lego Digital Designer, but there's a new one that Bricklink has, which I like. I can't remember what it's called, but maybe someday I'll do a live stream where I design a brickhead digitally. Because those are cool, because then you can actually order all your pieces off Bricklink, a Lego buying service, based on the instructions you created. So then you could design it, order the parts, and it all comes in the mail then, so then you can build your custom creation, which is a handy feature. That would have to type in all the part IDs into Bricklink to buy the parts for my project. But sometimes I often just design something and then dig through pieces I already have. Like this one was just out of stuff I had lying around. Okay, now one of my least favorite parts of making brickheads is putting on the eyes, because I want to get them to be as nice looking as possible, and it's even harder when you're doing stop motion, because you don't want to pick up the brickhead and move it around too much, or else you might not get it exactly where you want it. Yeah. Still a little bit crooked, but it'll be okay. Hopefully I'll get the other eye a bit better. Oh. Brickhead eyes are a piece I often don't run out of, because each brickhead always comes with an extra eye, so if you collect all the brickheads, I got tons of eyes lying around. But the actual building sideways pieces, I often running out of, because they only really come in brickheads, so it's just harder to get all of those parts all the time. So I often make big Bricklink orders, just those brickhead parts preemptively, just to be ready. I get a lot of my pieces from Bricklink for just like when I need little parts for my builds, or just sets I already own. Also, Lego does have Pick-a-Brick, which is nice and handy. They also have bricks and pieces on their website. Just good places to get bricks, but often I have the parts just in my collection from all kinds of Lego sets I buy. But you know, if access to all the parts you need, it's often nice to go to Bricklink and Bricks and Pieces and Pick-a-Brick. And there's other websites out there too, but those are just the most common ones. Okay, so that's the front side of the head done. So I'm going to turn him yet again. For this turn, I'm just going to line the base plate and the body a bit. Ooh, it's harder to get lined up now that I have that face piece on there, because I can't line up studs for the head like I was doing. So I guess it's the body mostly. The base plate looks about right. This one might jump a little bit, but that's not too bad, because I am turning it so to be different angles. So, oh geez, the size of these heads are a bit tricky, and I went a bit crazy on the build for these. And I'll have to do this again in reverse for the other side, so I might build it a little bit differently, just because if it wasn't clear enough in the first build through, it might be easier the second build through. Also, I do like having these live streams now, because then you can see me actually building it a bit slower, so that might help you find exactly what you need. Just saw Geometry Gamer said hi. Hello. Just doing some building. I don't know how long you've been here, but welcome. Ooh, just bumped the table. I hope it looks fine. Okay. Looks fine on the program side, but it might be a bit bumped when I watch the video, which isn't the end of the world. Yeah, that's good. I also might edit down this video into a time lapse for within the actual video. Not quite sure yet. Maybe it'll be a separate video I do, or might do like a making of stop motion stuff. Not sure. But another thing causing delay between videos, I recently upgraded from a laptop to a new PC, so it's been a bit of a hassle moving all my programs over. I'm still trying to get all my work in progress files moved. I've been a bit too lazy because I gotta take it from the laptop, move it to the computer, all around. But hopefully there should be a new stop motion video that isn't just a build around Thanksgiving, if everything goes according to plan, and perhaps a Christmas video if things go well enough. I had a lot of fun making last year's Christmas video, but I'm not sure if I saw enough plan for a Christmas video this year. I have a pretty huge Christmas video planned, but that might not happen for a year or two yet because there's still some script work and some quite significant set building. But if I do that one, it should be maybe one of the best videos Shanable Studios has ever done. Hopefully to like a theatrical level cinematography to it, which I'm making the project more complicated than it has to. It's probably will take me forever to get it done, but I do want things to look as nice as they can. Okay, so that's the next side of the face. There's only 2 more sides left. Thanks everyone for sticking around for this fun process. Now you too can see how boring it could be to do stop motion animation. But the final product will be much more exciting, so stay tuned. Hopefully, by next weekend for sure, so will be up. If not by this weekend. anyone has any questions, if I remember to look at the chat, I will answer them. But the first Minecraft stream should be on Wednesday next week on Cart Short channel. I probably will be mining a bunch of blackstone and ancient debris for my new build. So must be some chill time just playing Minecraft, digging through the nether. And perhaps might even talk about some new Shanable Studios projects if I have any updates, which hopefully will. Okay, one more side. The build is almost done. Base plate again. Okay, looks good. That is turned. Just saw Janelle hop in there. Hi. Sorry I said your name wrong. We're just doing some animation here on the live stream. We're almost done with this project. Just on the last side of this brickhead. And as you can see, I remembered to build the head a bit differently than the last side. Also, another fun detail that I just enjoyed to put in was to have the glasses frame kind of go across the head then, which is nice because sometimes the Lego brickhead glasses just kind of float there. I like how the detail is actually physically attached to his head a bit more. And as I mentioned, I did remember to build it in a different order for the side of the head. I feel like I like how I built this side better than the last side. Did a bit of a crazy random order on that one, but this makes a bit more sense for the build. Let's do last piece on the brick head. And then I'm going to turn it one last time to get the finished brick head looking right at the camera and capture. Awesome. Now you can see in the background I have the preview of the video playing, which it seems to look pretty good. All right then. Thank you for coming to the first Shanable Studios animation live stream. And stay tuned for the video coming soon.